It's time to talk about precision health. By Innocent Clement, Ciba Health.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Innocent Clement, the CEO of Ciba Health. We're based in New York. Ciba Health today, so again, a little background about me. I'm a physician. I was trained at Columbia University Medical Center in New York. I co-founded Ciba Health. And, again, a lot of you would probably agree with me today how broken our healthcare system is today. Not just the healthcare system, but again, mostly patients with chronic disease condition, how they are being managed and treated today. Precision medicine, I'm not sure if a lot of you are aware or familiar with what precision medicine is, really. Precision medicine, certainly, it's really medicine where you're able to really personalize. Because if you look at medicine today or healthcare today, it's all about a one-size-fits-all. And really, healthcare is changing. With precision medicine, a lot of times, when you hear about that, it's really often being used in either the oncology, in the biotech space. But again, with healthcare now, it's moving very fast, and then medicine is beginning to adopt what we call the precision medicine to be able to really personalize healthcare. Really, with healthcare today, if you look at, how broken that healthcare system is today, and how frustrating it is for, let's see. Okay. So, how healthcare is broken today, and then there's a lot of frustration with patients who are currently managing chronic disease condition, most especially with type 2 diabetes. There's a lot of frustration. When they go to the hospital, what they get today is about same medication, a one-size-fits-all approach. But again, with precision medicine, with technology, that's completely changing that, how we look at healthcare today. And so Ciba Health is really key into that to really provide what we call the personalized approach to reversing or providing intervention for patients who are suffering from chronic disease condition. And Ciba Health today really is focused on type 2 diabetes, digestive disorder. We're looking at autoimmune disease. We're currently based in New York. We have we partner with self-funded employer as well as health plan today, because there's a lot of frustration from there in terms of cost and then how patients are being managed and treated. And that's why Ciba started. If you look at our approach today, you see this here, it says holistic and science-based. When we say it's holistic, for us, it's really our approach to be to look at it from the root causes, identify where this is coming from, how can we better support our patient to be able to reverse their chronic disease condition. Because with the help of precision medicine, we're able to do that. So how do we do that? First is, as a patient, we're able to look at your genetic makeup, we'll look at your inflammation markers. So we do what we call advanced labs. This advanced lab allow us to be able to really understand how we can better support the patient, how we can identify what the root causes are for every patient. Because not all patients are the same. All our patients, in terms of when you look at it, patients dealing with chronic disease condition, they are not the same. But with the approach today, as a patient, you go to the hospital, it's a one-size-fits-all approach, right? They give medication, symptom-based suppression. But what Ciba is doing, using the precision medicine approach to really begin to personalize an approach to patient. Every patient is unique. So it should never be a symptom-based approach when you begin to manage patients with chronic disease condition. Because what we've seen today, it's a lot about medication to suppress the symptoms. But when you look at the personalized approach, that is changing that now. And that's why Ciba is keen into using the precision medicine approach to really begin to see how we can provide intervention for our patients who are dealing with chronic disease condition. So I know I talk a lot about the personalization and then how do we really, key in using the precision medicine approach. If you can see here, suddenly, as a patient, for us, it's very important to really collect a lot of information, and that's the only way you're able to provide intervention that is tailored towards that patient specifically. And really, for us, we have to collect what we call comprehensive questionnaire to really understand, the patient's medical history. understanding environmental factors, micronutrients. We collect a lot of that information, and then we analyze it. And then for us to be able to really put together an intervention that is using most of our approach today. And really, because healthcare today, most of our patients, we provide that using the virtual care, right? So when we talk about virtual care, it's because the patients are not in front of us. So we have what we call connected devices that allow us to track real time how we can really better support the patient in terms of the data, right? Because that's the only way you're able to really track and see what's going on with the patient. You can proactively connect with the patient. But absolutely, with precision medicine, it allows you to also use what we call the technology, what we also use what we call the AI machine learning, that allow us to really predict and identify those at high risk and those who already have the condition so that we can quickly provide them with intervention. So, again, I only talk about tailored approach to each patient. It's very important because really, as a patient, you go to the hospital, you still get the same sort of treatment. It's a lot of frustration. Patients are looking for what's the alternative today. And that's why Ciba Health, as a company today, has key in is using this, what we call the approach of precision medicine to be able to really tailor treatment for every patient that really is, that has either a chronic disease condition. As you can see here, so like I said earlier on, Ciba really started with type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes reversal. A lot of people will say, how are you able to reverse type 2 diabetes? Type 2 diabetes can be reversed, right? Because one, if you look at what the root causes of type 2 diabetes are, understand what the drivers are. Every patient with type 2 diabetes will not be the same. And the challenge is, how do you identify what's the root causes and then what are the drivers for every patient? And that's why Ciba is able to use the precision medicine approach to be able to understand every patient, how unique every patient is, to understand what are the unique drivers, what's driving the condition, and how we can better provide them with the intervention. And then the Ciba is using what we call the multidisciplinary approach, where we have the doctors, the dietitian, the health coaches all working collaboratively to be able to see how we can better support our patient to really begin to reverse their chronic disease condition. So here, if you can see what the slide here, it's basically what the patient journey looks like, using the precision medicine approach, right? So for the patient, you come on the platform, you enroll, we collect a lot of data from here, and then we send you what we call the kits. These kits allow us to really collect data real time from the patient, like the wearables. We call it the Aura Ring. The Aura Ring tracks for your sleep optimization, heart rate variability. We send in the Freestyle Libra. The Freestyle Libra tracks for the continuous blood glucose. And then they also get the scale. The scale tracks their weight as well as body mass composition. And then the next step, we connect with a health coach, where a health coach is able to really set up these devices so that to ensure that the data coming from those devices is flowing freely. And then after that, the next step is to collect with a mobile phlebotomist that will schedule a blood draw and will do what we call the advanced lab. So the advanced lab allows us to really investigate deeper and further understand how we can better support the patient using the precision medicine approach. Because again, it's very important. That's the only way you're able to really personalize treatment for every patient that is suffering with chronic disease condition, rather than using the one-size-fits-all approach. Yeah, so I also talked about remote patient monitoring, right? So it's very important, when you talk about precision medicine. The question is, you have patients who are probably virtual, and then how do you really keep up with the patient? How do you track their progress? How do you really proactively supporting the patient, provide them with intervention, right? So what we did is we integrate the remote patient monitoring capability that allow us to continue to track the patient's activity using the data that is coming from the wearables or the connected devices, and as well as also using artificial intelligence or machine learning for the predictive analytic model, and also be able to really what we do call the precision decision support software that provide a support in terms of intervention for every patient that you're currently managing. Again, this is some of the sample of some of the devices that we send to the patient. These devices allow us to really collect data and track real time so that we can able to really support the patient, which means, comprehensive support, looking at, what are the root causes and what's going on with the patient, and our ability to be able to proactively identify risk in terms of, patient who are at high risk and a patient that also need a support when we are looking at the intervention we're putting together for a patient. And this all devices they are already available in the market today. And then for us, really, given that, we're looking at a unique approach, how we manage our patient, we felt it's very important, mostly patient with type 2 diabetes. Again, this is really a great way to be able to really connect with the patient, to be able to continue to support them and ensure that, you're not missing anything. So, this here, it's a sample of what the data looks like in the dashboard, and given what you're tracking in terms of the matrix you're measuring for success. Given, like I said again, with patients who are really virtual now, how do you really track them? How do you support them, without having a dashboard? The most important aspect of this is because you also want to ensure that you're empowering the patient to do better. Empowering patient with chronic disease condition, obviously, it's a lot of challenge. It requires a lot of effort. And then the only way you can really proactively connect with them is to ensure that the patient also have a way to track their progress, how well they're doing, and as well as the providers who are able to also track this patient to see how they can better support this patient to provide them with a tailored, personalized intervention. So here, again, I know I talked a lot about the predictive analytic model. This is what it looks like for every patient when you connect with the data, right? The dashboard, the data coming from the biometrics. You're able to track and see what's going on and where you can zero in, given that, patients with chronic disease condition, a lot of times it's also very challenging to really provide them the support and then understand really how you can better put together an intervention. So when you're able to track this and then also combining that with what we call the advanced labs data, that would also help you to be able to really proactively put together a precision medicine approach and also a personalized intervention that can really support patients to reverse their chronic disease condition. So again, we're taking advantage of what we call AI machine learning, which is also very important in precision medicine approach, because this allows you to proactively provide what we call condition-based intervention or personalized intervention, as well as predictive analytics to be able to really connect with the patient in real time and see how you can better support the patient. So again, going back to the precision medicine, how really it works for us at Ciba Health, and then how we're keying into that. You look at how the sort of data we collect, right? The genome, the labs, the medical history, the symptoms, the lifestyle, medication, and this is processed through what we call the precision engine, where it's able to put together an intervention for every patient using the Ciba's methodology, and then recommend a treatment for every patient. Because every patient is unique, we have to begin to see how we can change the current approach to healthcare today. Healthcare is really moving very fast. Suddenly, precision medicine will be the game changer in really helping patients with chronic disease condition, how we can better support them, and then how we can really continue to provide intervention that will help to reverse some of those chronic disease conditions. I'm not going to bore you to walk you through all this, but again, the most important message I want to leave here today, precision medicine has come to stay. Precision medicine is the future of healthcare, and again, it's not just for the biotechnology or the pharma industry for oncology, but a lot with patients who are also with chronic disease condition, looking at type 2 diabetes, looking at digestive disorder, autoimmune disease. The key is be able to really put together a personalized intervention that is unique for every patient. Healthcare should not be a symptom-based approach. Healthcare should not be a one-size-fits-all. Healthcare truly should be personalized. Thank you, everyone.